you what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Farming Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. Right now it is morning time. It is like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I wanted to get something done before I got ready for the day, before I put my face on and everything. So today we're going to make something super good, but I have to slice up onions for it. Now, it kills my eyes. I've tried every trick under the sun, all the things everybody says to try, the wet rag, the freezing the onions. I've tried it all and it still kills my eyes, even with my glasses on. So I know my eyes will probably be watering, but the thing I have learned that helps me more than anything is swimming goggles. So I'm going to spare you guys the look of me in my swim goggles, and I'm going to slice up these onions off camera, and then we'll come back and get started. But first, let me just say welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new here, my name's Leslie. I would love for you to join the Farming Pastor's Wife community. It is an amazing, wonderful community. We pray for each other. We give each other cooking advice and tips. It is amazing. So let me just say, I would love for you to hit subscribe, hit that bell notification. Be sure to comment, give me a thumbs up. Let me know where you're watching from. Super happy to have you here. And if you're back, welcome back. You guys know absolutely how much I love and appreciate each and every one of you. So, okay, we are going to get started. I'm going to slice these from root to tip like this. I'm going to slice it right down through here. And then I'm going to cut it into half circles. So I'll show you what it looks like when we come back. But I'm going to spare you the look of me in my swim goggles. And then I can go put makeup on. So let me tell you what we're cooking. We are cooking French onion soup. You know, with the bread and the cheese on top. I know that can be made any time of year. It's not specific to fall. However, I usually do not eat soups until the fall and the winter. We just don't. Unless we're sick, then we'll open up a can of Campbell's chicken noodle, or I'll make a pot of chicken and rice for whoever's sick. But we don't normally do soups per se, like a big pot of soup, until the fall and the winter. So that's why I'm putting this in our fall recipes. And I wanted something different than your chili, than your chicken soup, than your vegetable beef soup. We've all done those. And so this is something I've not done. I've done it like maybe one other time. And so I wanted to do this again. So with that being said, we're making French onion soup. Okay, so I have my Dutch oven right here. I have it almost completely full of just half circle strings of onions like this. Some are not broke up, and that's okay. But what I'm going to do is, I could have already had my butter going, but I wanted to show this to you first. So I'm just going to put half a stick of butter, 4 tablespoons of butter in here. And we're going to start sauteing them. And let me get a little bit of salt. I'm going to season it with just a little bit, not a whole lot. And the reason I'm not using a lot of salt is because I use cooking wine now. And it is super duper duper salty. But you could use, if you cook with real wine, we don't buy drinkable alcohol here. And yes, I know the cooking process cooks the alcohol out, but it's a personal preference here in this house. But you do whatever you normally do. If you cook with real wine, then you might want to add more salt. But cooking wine actually is super salty, so I'm not going to add a whole lot of salt. So we're going to get this over here on the stove and get it sauteing up, and we'll check on it. I'll bring you back first. Let me get this on, and then I want to bring you back and show you how to deal with my oniony smelling hands. Okay guys, so my hands super smell like onions, and I'm gonna wash them. But let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Don't know if you know this trick or not, but I'm gonna reach in here with a spoon and get out some of our morning coffee grounds. And then I'll put a little bit of hand soap in here with it. And I'm going to scrub my hands in the coffee grounds. It doesn't look pretty. It feels really good because you feel like you're really getting an exfoliation scrub right here. But my hands will not smell a bit like onions when I'm done. Now, let's talk about what type of onions. I don't know, to be honest. What I used, I always buy sweet onions, always. Whether that be Vidalia or just where it says sweet onions. Not an onion smell anywhere. Okay, except in the atmosphere where I've been cutting all these onions. So I don't know. Since I'm I'm caramelizing these onions, I'm going to get them cooked way down, and that's going to enhance the sweetness. So these onions may be a little bit too sweet for this. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. But that's the only kind of onions I ever buy, and I wasn't going to buy special onions just for this recipe. So, okay, I want to show you what we're going for. See these brown ones? That's what we want them all to look like. So we're getting there, but yeah. All right, so just a little bit longer. Okay, so we are ready for the next step in this process. Let me show you the onions. There they are, good and caramelized and brown and beautiful. Let's go over the ingredients. And the reason I do this is because most of the time I make and upload, a lot of times, not always, but most of the times I make and upload the video all in the same day. And sometimes that leaves me no time to add everything in the description. So I'm going to give you the ingredients, and but hopefully I will share the link down in the description. If this is somebody else's recipe and I can remember where I've got it from, I like to share their link, because you should go to them, and drive the traffic to them, because this is their recipe. So that is why, even though I'm making it, I don't put the recipe in the description. I put the link, and that is why. It's just a courtesy to that person. But sometimes I don't remember where I got it, so then I do have to type it up. And then sometimes I just don't get to do it right away. So I want to give you the ingredients now. You need 4 tablespoons of butter, 6 medium onions, salt, 1/4 cup of white wine, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 6 cups of beef broth, which is 48 ounces, crusty bread, and Gruyere cheese. So let me just say, I have taken a baguette that I bought at the store, but what would be really good is the crusty bread that I make. And if I can remember, I'll share the link to my crusty bread down in the description too, but go check that out. If I forget, just search the Farming Pastor's Wife crusty bread. Oh my goodness, it's so good. All right, so we've already caramelized all the onions, so let's start from here. And I'm just going to turn it on and get it heated back up. I had this done earlier today, and I finished mopping my floors and so forth. So, and I'm actually going to stick this in the oven and just toast it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be brown because we're going to put cheese on it. So I just want to bring this back up to temperature to get it nice and hot, and I'll bring you back when it's there. All right, everyone, it is nice and hot and boiling. We'll stir those onions around. Now remember, I use cooking wine, so you may need to add more salt. I may need to add more salt. I'm not sure, but cooking wine is super salty, so I'm gonna get this in here, bring it back to a boil. All right, you see it boiling over there? Ooh, that smells so good. I do like the smell of cooking wine. All right, it has definitely come back to a boil, so I'm going to take a tablespoon of all-purpose flour. And we're just going to put that in here and stir it around. And we're going to cook this till it gets nice and thick. We want to cook that flour taste out as well. It looked like it thickened right up, didn't it? This is going to be so good. So good. All right, I'm going to let this cook just for a little bit. And we'll be back in just a second. All right, it has thickened up nicely, and so we're going in with 48 ounces of beef broth. I may have said chicken broth earlier, but it's beef broth. Now you can use beef consomme. That would just give it a thicker, richer flavor. So this is just a basic French onion soup mix, and you can make it, doctor it up any way you want. Okay. All right, and we're just going to give this a stir. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so good. I have a feeling this will be going home with Mr. Isaac for supper tonight. All right, and we're just going to let this simmer away for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to grate the cheese while that's simmering. All right, so we're at the point now where we're going to get to give this a try, but we have to do some broiling in the oven. Now you want an oven safe bowl. I don't particularly have oven safe bowls. However, we live in very, very, very close to Seagrove, North Carolina, which is a big pottery capital, and I know this has been in the kiln probably over 1,000 degrees, so it can hold up to being broiled in the oven. So I'm just going to put that on our dish over there. Our baking pan. I guess first I'm going to put some soup in it. Isaac's here. He loves French onion soup, so we're gonna let him, I'll taste his, but we're gonna give him the, all right. So I've got some of my toasty bread here, and I'm just gonna place this on top. I guess two's gonna be enough. I'll put 3. And then we're gonna top that with our Gruyere cheese. And I'm gonna stick this in the oven under the broiler for just a minute till that cheese is nice and melty. All right, here's my taste tester,
Hey
my
guys.
handsome taste tester.
Oh, it smells delicious. I love French onion soup. Now, she told me not to touch the bowl.
That bowl is hot. It just came out of the oven.
I said, I'm assuming the soup is hot too. Oh, let's sit down.
It's got to cut the bread, so that's kind of makes it difficult. Oh, the bowl must not be too terribly hot. It's hot. He just, see, I usually burn Bryant's tongue.
Oh, it's hot, but it was worth it.
It was worth it, he
That's good.
said.
That's delicious.
Is that good?
That's so good.
What does it need? Anything? Is it missing anything?
I think it's perfect.
I didn't put any black pepper in it, and I wanted to put black pepper in it so bad, but I didn't.
That is perfect. That's delicious.
All right. There you go.
Oh my goodness, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. That's a good thing. So, well, good, because this is probably what you're going to take home for supper. He burned his mouth again. Get a Pepsi.
Okay.
Well, here, I'm going to taste it while he's running around burning his mouth. This is what you do.
Not when you're hungry.
Mmm, what cheese. That is good, isn't
It's
it?
delicious.
Really good.
Fantastic.
All right, guys, so fall soup #1 in the books. Well, we did have chicken stew the other night, but I didn't film that on here. We kind of gave a brief showing of it on Facebook, but we'll be doing chicken stew, a whole lot of chicken stew in just a few weeks. So he's leaving with the soup. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I got cheese everywhere. So we'll see you next time right here on the Farm and Pastor's Wife. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.